Right, so thank you very much everyone for joining us here again for this post-match press conference following India versus Namibia. We're joined by India head coach Ravi SHASTRI, who will be taking questions, first from in the room here in Dubai and also via Zoom. If you do have a question on Zoom, please can you put your hand up. If you are selected, you'll then need to unmute yourself, ask your question, and then mute yourself immediately afterwards. So can we start with questions in the room, please? Hands?
Hi, Coach. First of all, congratulations on a great tenure. So my first question is, what is the best thing to have happened in this Virat Kohli, Ravi SHASTRI era? It could be result, development, or anything you wish to answer.
I mean, just the quality of cricket this team has played over the last 5 years across all formats. The performances are there for everyone to see. When you perform in that fashion, where you go across the globe, across all formats and beat teams, then you know you're part of one great cricket team. And I'm not saying a great cricket team, India, I'm saying one of the great cricket teams in the history of the game. Because if you look at those kind of performances, they don't happen often. You've got to have a bunch of players who are fit, hungry, fearless, have the quality, have the belief, and then to stay fit so that you can play those 5 years together and go across the globe and perform everywhere. I mean, if you look at, if you want the real highlights, nothing beats Australia. England, you know, we are up in the series. It'll be the longest time we'll be up in the series, you know, till next year. I might be commentating on that game, for all you know. But I'll keep that 1 year, you know, it feels good. But white ball everywhere. You know, you beat West Indies in the West Indies, you've beaten Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka, good team. So all round, it's been fabulous. You know, yes, we are disappointed with the result in the first 2 games here. And let's be honest, I'm not here to make any sort of excuses. We lacked the daring in the second game against New Zealand. I know the toss was important. And as you've seen in the last 3 games, how important it is. And I do feel it will continue to be important, though not as much now as the weather has cooled down a bit. But still, so it's something for the boys to learn, and they'll get an opportunity again next year, because not often you have World Cups in 12 months. So hopefully, you know, they'll go and kick some butt there.
रवि, ड्रेसिंग रूम तेरे लिए तो एक घर जैसा है. तू पहले भी ये घर का हिस्सा रहा है एज अ प्लेयर. अब कोच बन के आपने 5 साल ये काम किया है. तो पहला टेन्योर ये टेन्योर में फ़र्क क्या था? कितना चैलेंजिंग था? आपने सोचा था उससे ज़्यादा कितना चैलेंजिंग था ये कोच का हिस्सा? और ये अब फिर से छोड़ने के लिए आपके दिल में क्या है?
मेरे ख्याल में मैं जब पहला टीम के साथ था वो 2007 में था. वो तो सिर्फ 1 महीने के लिए था. उसके बाद में 2014 में आया. तो मेरे ख्याल में मैं एक्चुअली 7 साल हूँ उधर. सिर्फ नाउ प्लेयर और कोच ड्रेसिंग रूम तो वही होगा. लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में जो मुझे जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन मिला है ये काम से, वो बहुत बढ़िया है. क्योंकि कोई एशियन टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हराया नहीं था 70 साल में. हमने 2 बार हराया. और वो मामूली बात नहीं है. वो तो दुनिया को पता है. कोई भी कंट्री से पूछो उनको पता है. और फिर इंग्लैंड में परफॉर्मेंस, फिर वाइट बॉल का इंप्रूवमेंट, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ फील्डिंग का इंप्रूवमेंट, जो वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर्स बने रास्ते पे. यू नो, अगर देखा जाएगा ये टीम में काफ़ी वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर्स थे. अगर आप 2014 में जब मैं डायरेक्टर बना टीम का, वो सब सेम चीज़ है भाई. डायरेक्टर, कोच, ये वो तुम लोग अलग अलग नाम देते हैं. मेरे लिए तो वही है. तो काफ़ी चीज़ हो चुके हैं. लेकिन अगर आप मुझसे पूछा कि क्या आप चाहते थे वो टाइम पे, तो ये टीम से मैं ये बोलूँगा कि ये टीम ने ओवर अचीव किया. जो मेरा सोच था उससे ज़्यादा चले गए. वो एक ही चीज़ मिसिंग है, वो है आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट. उनको चांस मिलेगा. अभी राहुल द्रविड़ आया कोच. यू नो, आई विश हिम ऑल द लक. He's a great player. He's got the stature. He's, done the yards as a coach to further take this team, over the next few years and raise the bar. So I wish him all the luck for that.
Hi, Coach. We've often heard this team say that they have each other's backs and also seen them stand up for each other in criticism. Is it something that you saw organically develop in this outfit, or was it something you and Virat actively worked towards achieving?
We actively worked towards this. We wanted trust in that dressing room. That's the only way you can get each other's back. We needed communication. We needed no finger pointing, at each other. We needed the word "I" to be thrown into the dustbin, and the word "we" coming in, and created a culture that had to be obeyed and followed. And with Virat leading the way, he's been one of the great ambassadors for the games, especially when you look at red ball cricket, the way he's embraced it. And it's allowed other players in the team to follow suit. You got to give credit where it's due. So it's a team culture which was impressed upon the team to follow, and they followed it to the hilt. They played fearless cricket around the globe. And one thing I would say, this is not an excuse, but this is a fact. When you're 6 months in a bubble, this team, there are a lot of players in this team who play all three formats of the game. And in the last 24 months, they've been home for 25 days. I don't care who you are. If your name is Bradman, if you're in a bubble as well, your average will come down because you're human. This is not where something you just put petrol in the backside and then expect the guy to move on, in overdrive. It doesn't happen that way. So I think it's tough times. That's why I say, in life, it's not what you accomplish. It's what you overcome. And that's what this team has done. They've shown the drive to hang in there, no complaints, but sooner or later, the bubble will burst. So you've got to be careful.
Coach, you touched upon the bubble fatigue factor. Just taking that on, from a management perspective, did you try and reach out to the administration in order to possibly get some sort of a break for some of these guys ahead of a World Cup? Or is it impractical to expect a World Cup being prioritized over IPL? I understand that the times
that's not my job. First of all, it was already done. That is something I'm sure the administrators, not just from India, from BCCI, it's the others around the globe who will also be looking at it to, before big tournaments, to ensure that there is a little bit of gap so that the guys are mentally fresh and ready to play.
And in the last 5 years, have you actively worked on, or has Indian cricket reached a stage wherein if a player actually wants a break, he can raise his hand and can come back and grab his place back?
Absolutely. There's the communication has been free. We've managed players, especially with their training methods and everything. And it's one thing, we were never short on communication. Everyone was free to speak. No one was treated as a junior. There was no senior and junior on this side. Everyone had the freedom to express himself. And I think it's been one heck of a journey for me, personally. I know it's my last day in the dressing room. I just spoke to the boys. But I'd like to thank the BCCI, for giving me this opportunity, believing that I could do the job. And, I wish the coach coming after me all the luck. And I must thank in this also, all the committees that were there in picking me as the coach, including, Vinod Rai and his team for some time, the COA. So I'd like to thank all of them because they were all part of the journey. But one man I'd like to give special mention to. His name is N. Srinivasan. He was the man who insisted that I do this job in 2014. In fact, I didn't have the belief I could do this job. He seemed to have more belief in my ability than I had. And I hope I haven't let him down. So if, sir, you're listening, I got the opportunity and I did my work without any agenda.
We'll take a few questions on Zoom now. Shamik Chakravarti.